Today on the show, we're talking tires and pit strategy at Eldora. Mike Marlar really hates inverts, plus Sunday results from around the country and more. Let's go. It's Monday, June 9th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. If you need to do an oil change this summer on your car, maybe grab a set of brake pads or a new battery, or maybe you need some cleaning products to get that thing spick and span, let me help you out. Head over to DIRTRACKR.com/advance and use code GEARUP at checkout to get 15% off any order or 20% off an order of $100 or more with Advance Auto Parts. You can order online and they will ship your goodies right to your house. That's code GEARUP, GEARUP at checkout at DIRTRACKR.com/advance to save some money this summer with Advance Auto Parts. I'll also leave the link in the video description below. Coming out of the Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora, there are a couple of things I wanted to talk about around the event format and how rules kind of affect things. First, I had a comment on yesterday's show about Bobby Pierce pitting on Saturday night to fix his right rear tire right around halfway. The 32 pulled up lame with what appeared to be a flat and then went to the infield to get it fixed. Pierce was then obviously able to drive back through the field to finish second behind Jonathan Davenport's win. The comment from yesterday pointed to Eldora needing to make rules to not allow drivers to put new rubber on. Pierce's post-race comments sort of made it sound like he ran the first half pretty hard, knowing he was likely going to get new rear tires put on. Unlike a national series, like say Lucas, it doesn't seem as though the Eldora Crown Jewels have any sort of rule about tires needing to be flat to be changed. That is the case with Lucas, but at Eldora, as long as you can change the tire before the field is set to go green, there is no such restriction in place. And that didn't necessarily apply to Pierce given the right rear issue, but it is an interesting discussion point. Should dirt late model racers be allowed to have some measure of a pit strategy in tires in these longer Crown Jewel events? Obviously, the dream is a 100-lap main event. Davenport was able to dominate and win by more than 10 seconds on his original tire, so obviously it's not necessary to change to have success. But Pierce was able to make it work, driving back through the field to finish second. I wonder, though, if that's really possible for anyone. It seems like we often see guys get that tire changed, head back out to tag the tail, and then not be able to drive through the field. The comment suggested that if a driver has a flat, their night should be done. I don't know that I feel strongly one way or the other here, but making someone put it on the truck for a flat tire does seem a bit harsh. There was another comment that suggested maybe only allowing them to swap to a used tire if they come into the infield. I certainly see the point about not allowing tire changes, but I don't think it really bothered me that much that Pierce had fresher tires. It's not like it allowed him to race past Davenport easily for the win anyway. Maybe if he could have gotten a late caution to wipe out Davenport's big lead, he would have had a shot, but there's certainly no guarantee that that would have been the case. I think if it was really that big of an advantage to do it, you'd see everyone pitting for fresh rubber when they had the chance on some of these cautions. Of the front runners, I think Pierce was the only one who got tires in that one. I know Hoffman pitted early for damage, but I don't know if they put a tire on or not. I'm curious, though, to know where the rest of you stand on this one. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. The other thing to mention was Mike Marlar bemoaning the inverts after the Friday night prelim show. He started fourth in a heat that he would have been on the pole of given no invert, and he ended up with damage. He posted to Facebook all of his thoughts. He said, quote, Eldora Speedway, why bother working to get what you earn? Had to start fourth in a heat I should have been on the pole of. Now we're fixing a wreck. There's plenty of good competition to see a good show in all caps without inverts. No need to penalize guys who work hard. Hashtag do better. Hashtag inverts gotta go, unquote. That post at this moment is well across 700 comments and has drawn really mixed reactions. People complain all the time about the lack of inverts with a series like the World of Outlaws sprint cars, but here you have a competitor going the complete opposite way. Inverts are obviously a way to try and create passing in those heat races, especially early on when the track is not super great yet. But when cars are so equal like they are these days, it does make things tough for those who get buried a few rows behind. And it's not been uncommon to see drivers play qualifying games to try and hit the inverts just right. But Also, that's a reason why Eldora has things like the Wheel of Death, so the guys don't know exactly what the invert is, so maybe they can't play the games just quite as much. And it's not like inverts at Eldora are a new thing. These guys know what they're getting themselves into when they show up to run these Eldora races. So do you agree with Marlar? Do you think the inverts should go away, or do you like the inverts at Eldora? Let me know. No Word of Outlaw Sprint Car Show on Sunday. The Angel Park Speedway race was rained out and postponed until October 19th. Up next for the Outlaws is 2 days at Knoxville Raceway this coming Friday and Saturday. In between, we do have high limit at Eagle Raceway in Nebraska for $55,000 to win, and we'll see if any Outlaw drivers decide to invade that one and try and win back some of the money the high limit guys swiped off the Outlaws this past weekend. Remember, the Outlaw full-timers get 4 freebies to use throughout the course of the year. Last year, Eagle did draw Carson Macedo, Gio Scelzi, Logan Schuchar, and Buddy Kofoid. And not that I looked super hard, but I haven't seen anything publicized just yet on which of the Outlaw drivers could potentially be attending that one. I would assume, though, that a bunch of the high-limit teams will be in action at Knoxville next weekend. It's obviously clear these guys want Knoxville laps whenever they can get them. We saw a couple of guys race at Knoxville this past weekend with Tyler Courtney getting the win. And they're obviously building notebooks for the future, including this Outlaw weekend coming up and the Knoxville Nationals. In Sunday racing that did happen, Ryan Timms was again a sprint car winner at Huset. He and Chase Randall absolutely went at it in that one. Elbows out there a few times, some interesting moves through traffic. Timms has now won 4 times in his last 7 races, picking up scores at both Husets and Knoxville. We'll see if he can parlay this success into some better results against High Limit and the Outlaws coming up. Obviously, we got the High Bank Nationals at Husets coming up here in a couple of weeks, so Timms might be a dark horse type guy to watch out for that in that one for some of that big money. At Kokomo, Indiana, Midget Week wrapped up with Jacob Denny charging from 17th to the win. Kel Drake and Drake Edwards battled for the lead throughout that one, but Denny got in there late and stole it from him. The rain-ravaged Midget Week title was won by Kel Drake with only 3 races getting completed. Drake, impressive so far this season, 7 top 5s in 8 races and already 2 wins. He hasn't finished off the podium in 5 straight USAC Midget events. Leaving Midget Week, though, Justin Grant still leads the championship by 21 points over Drake. Kenna McIntosh and Denny aren't that far behind, though. Up next for the USAC Midgets is the BC 39 at the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That happens July 1st and 2nd. If you missed it over the weekend, I sent out a new issue of The Slider, which is our free email newsletter. This one featured a piece by Pat Sullivan where he talked about non-wing sprint cars in Knoxville, kind of some of the stuff that went on there, and where streaming blackouts maybe fall into our current situation. If you don't get the newsletter, you can sign up for free over at DIRTRACKR.com/theslider. You can also see Pat's piece there and all of the past issues. And before we close out, thanks for 43,000 subscribers on YouTube and 40,000 followers on Facebook. We are getting ever closer to our goals for the year. If you haven't done so yet and would like to, hit that subscribe button on YouTube and the podcast places and like and follow on Facebook. Hope you guys have a great Monday out there. We will see you right back here tomorrow.